Yeah, good evening, family. Good evening once again. We are back um, to talk about issues relating to our African continent. Uh, so let me just give myself some few minutes and see if family will join so that we have a discussion concerning about the issues going on the African Union. Yeah. Shit. Um, yeah, good evening, everybody. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Good evening, African family. It's your brother once again, brother Anzanzi. Yeah, uh, brother Ezenata. I see you, bro. Yeah, we the ancestors has inspired us to come once again to talk about. Please, if you can share it for me, because today we're talking about issues relating to Africa, and then especially what is going on now in the African Union. You know, most of our people, especially the youth in Africa, doesn't really have a clue as to what is going on. And I think it's about time we put a little bit of energy on that particular body called the African Union, because most African youth don't really care about what's going on there. So that's the topic I want to treat this evening. So please, if you come in, you can share it for me so that at least we can have a little bit, some few minutes discussion about it. Maybe half an hour or 1 hour discussion about it. Because there's a lot going on now. And then most of us, we are so clueless as to what's going on in the African Union. And a lot is going on there. And then the truth is that the African Union represents Africa. The African Union is a body that makes decisions for Africa. And then most Africans don't know it, especially we the youth of Africa. We really don't know what's going on in the African Union. And it's about time we start to educate ourselves on what's going on in the African Union, because most of us don't know nothing on what's going on. And they deliberately do it like that. They disconnect the youth of Africa from the African Union. So most people are in their countries. Yeah, most people are in their countries. All that they know is what's going on in their countries. But what is going on in African Union, a lot of us don't know. The youth of Africa. Hey, Yusuf. Yusuf, long time, bro. Hope you're okay. Yeah, you've been invited to watch me. Thank you for coming. Yeah. So today we're talking about the African Union, what's going on there, because there's the African Union Commission is the body that governs the entire Africa. Is the body that take decisions for Africa, and then most Africans youth, as I said, most of the youth in Africa don't really know anything about what's going on there. And then it's about time we start educating ourselves as to what's going on in the African Union, because as long as there's a disconnection between the citizens of Africa and the African Union, there's always going to be problem for us, because those in there who are making decisions for Africa are not making the right decision that to represent African interests. They are only there to save the purpose of other people rather than Africa. And then we, the African youth, we are so clueless. We don't care. We are not angry about it. And then today, we all know what's going on there because of our Queen Mother, our grandmother, Dr. Arikana. They are doing everything that they can to disqualify her. They are doing everything that they can to disqualify her, and then to allow the incompetent current commissioner, Musa Faki, to continue selling African out to other people, which is unacceptable. And the reality, or the sad part of it, is that African youth don't really even know what's going on in the African Union. And it's about time we start talking about it. It's about time we start educating about ourselves about the African Union, rather than maybe always arguing among ourselves and then pulling each other's down, which is not helping us. Because the truth of the matter is that we don't know, but Africa has a central government and president. That's what most of us don't know. Africa has a central government and Africa has a president, because the African Union Commissioner, is the one who is taking decisions of what's going on in Africa. He's the one dealing with other continents about the affairs of Africa. And then is the person of Musa Faki. And then he has been in office for the past 4 years. And all that he's displaying is incompetence. Musa Faki has been there for the past 4 years. And today, they have opened nominations for for other people to participate. Yusuf, they have opened nominations for other people to participate. And we all know currently the only one person who is speaking for the interests of Africa is Dr. Arikana. We all know that. Today, the only person speaking for the interests of Africa and the youth of Africa is Dr. Arikana. And the African Union is doing everything that they can to disqualify Dr. Arikana. And the sad thing is that no African youth or the Africans are not even talking about it. Mobutu, Mustafa, like Mpuria. So, as I said, it's about time we, the African youth, we start to get into politics of African Union, because the disconnection between Africans in their respective countries and what's going on in Addis Ababa is so appalling that if we don't talk about it, if we don't stand up to defend the interests of Africa, Africans will always be slaves, and Africans will always be disrespected in the eyes of other people. Why? What is this that Musa Faki doesn't want to leave the African Union Commission? Or what is it there? Whose interest is Musa Faki representing that he wants to keep himself there? That is the questions we need to be asking ourselves. and then until we get more angry and start demonstrating and stop signing petitions, I am telling you, Africa will continue, because Moussa Faki's interest is not for Africa. He's not there to fight for the interests of Africa. He's there to fight for the interests of those who put him there. And the question is, why are they so desperate? Why are they so desperate to make sure that Dr. Arikana doesn't get the nod to participate in the elections, in the upcoming African Union Commission elections? That is the question that they don't want to give us answers. And as I said, and the sad thing is, the youth of Africa, there's a disconnection between the youth of Africa and the African Union, because most of us don't know what's going on in the African Union. Most of us don't have any clue of what is going on in the African Union. And the truth is that the African Union make decisions for Africa. Forget about what your country president will do. Forget about what your country president representing. The truth is that the African Union Commissioner is the president of Africa today, because he makes decisions and he negotiates on behalf of Africa. And then Moussa Faki have been there for the past 4 years, and then he has shown gross incompetence. All that he does, he doesn't even talk. And I can tell you, most Africans don't even know who Moussa Faki is. But we all know what Dr. Arikana is doing for Africa. We all know what our mother is doing for Africa. We all know that what the Queen Mother is doing for Africa. So how come nobody don't hear anything? How come people are not angry? The youth are not angry as to why they're trying to eliminate or to get Dr. Arikana, our mother, out of the contest. What is it that Moussa Faki is giving to those people who put him there? Because for some reason, if I ask you who Moussa Faki is, nobody don't know. What is he representing? Whose interest is Moussa Faki representing? Nobody don't know. All that he's there is quiet, and then listening to what France and the superpowers are asking him to do for Africa. It is very unfortunate that it is very unfortunate that we, the youth of Africa, are not that angry about what is going on there. And as I said, they deliberately did that to disconnect us, the youth of Africa, from knowing the realities of who is taking decisions of their future. The truth is that we have come to the world has now become a global village, and every continent is fighting for the future of the next generation. Everybody is fighting for the future of the next generation. It is only Africa and the leadership of Africa who are clueless, who doesn't even care as to what decisions they're going to take for the betterment of the next generations to come. And as I said, they deliberately disconnect the youth. They deliberately disconnect the youth to know what's going on in Addis Ababa. So you are in your country, Nigeria, all that you do is you blame your president. You are in your country, Ghana, all that you do is blame your president. But the reality is that Africa has a central government, and the president is Moussa Faki. And the Moussa Faki has been there for the past 4 years, and nobody don't know what he is doing there, because he doesn't come out when there's problem, Africans facing problem in China. It is Mother Dr. Arikana who will come out and speak for Africans. When Africans are suffering everywhere in the globe, it is our mother, Dr. Arikana, who is speaking for the interests of Africa. Moussa Faki doesn't even talk. Nobody don't even know. The African Union Commission have projects that is supposed to bring Africans together, talking about African passport. That the previous chairperson, Dr. Zuma, came out with all these ideas. And then Moussa Faki has not been able to implement all these ideas. And all that he does is sit in Addis Ababa, negotiate and selling Africa to its past colonial masters. And then today we have a very competent woman, a competent warrior woman, who come out to also participate and then contest Moussa Faki. And all that they're doing is doing everything that they can to make sure that she wouldn't get into the ballot. And the truth is, or the sad thing is, African youth don't even know. We don't know nothing about what's going on there. So today, as I said, I just feel like this thing, all the bloggers or all the brothers and sisters who have the opportunity or who are speaking on social media, please, you guys should start talking about what is going on the African Union, because the decisions that the African Union will take will go a long way to either benefit Africa or affect Africa. And then if you don't know, then let me tell you, Moussa Faki has been there for the past 4 years, and all that he does got nothing to do with the interests of Africa. Everything that he's doing goes to the interests of France and the Western powers. And on which, if we don't stand up and fight against that, then 20, 30 years from now, we will be colonized again, which will be very, very, very unfortunate. But we cannot sit down because we can see. Or if we cannot see, then if you cannot see, then I am telling you that this is what is going on in the African Union Commission. And then African youth must stand up against that. We shouldn't always be talking about other issues concerning about other people's spirituality and all that. Yes, we have our own way of life. We have our own spiritualities as African people, and then we must value it. We must respect ourselves. We must respect what God has given to us. But politically, the African Union is the one taking political decisions for every African. They negotiate trade deals for Africa. Most of us don't know that. The African Union negotiates trade deals for Africa. Yeah, in your respective countries, you can make your own decisions. But the African Union, when it comes to taking decisions for Africa, the African Union chair today is the president of Africa. But we don't know that. And then they have managed to put a puppet who is there working for the interest of other countries or other continents, and not for the interest of Africa. And as I said, it will go a long way to affect the children of Africa, the next generation of Africans, if we today don't speak against that. So we must protest, we must stand up, and all these petitions that they have been asking people to sign. Yes, I believe in signing petitions, but in some cases, when it gets worse, you have to forget about signing petitions, because those people that when we sign the petitions and give it to them, they will reject it. We all know what they did to our Queen Mother, Dr. Arikana, when she was the Africa ambassador to the United States. She started uncovering what is going on in Africa, especially in Francophone countries. She started uncovering all this wealth that France is taking, looting, exploiting our people. What did they do? Moussa Faki sacked her. Moussa Faki sacked her. For what? For what reason? Because she was exposing France. Can you imagine? You put somebody in a position to make decisions that will better your people. And then she started doing that, implementing her vision for Africa. And because she was exposing France, Moussa Faki sacked her. And today, she has come back to contest for the Commission for the Commission of Africa, African Union. And these same people trying to bully her out. And as I said, and we, the youth of Africa, we are quiet because we don't even know. They have made us so dumb that we don't even know what's going on in the African Union. But as I said, the African Union take decisions for Africa. And it's about time. And every decision that they take, it will either go a long way to help Africa or to affect Africa. And for now, Moussa Faki is taking decisions not for the interests of Africa, but he's taking decisions for the interests of himself. And it's unfortunate that he has now become a dictator in the African Union. Because about 2 weeks ago, or I think in the beginning of this month, they commissioned the African Trade Intercontinental Trade Office headquarters in Ghana. It was Moussa Faki who was there. His deputy is a Ghanaian. But he wasn't there. Why? Because Moussa Faki didn't want him to be there. But as I said, a lot of us, we don't know what's going on. A lot of us don't know what's going on in African Union. We see people, our brothers and sisters, drowning in the Mediterranean from Libya to Europe. Moussa Faki will never come out to talk about issues like that. But we always see our Queen Mother, Dr. Arikana, speaking against all these kind of issues. She has Africa at heart. And then these are the people who should be leading and making decisions for Africa. These are the people who should be leading and making decisions for Africa, not people who are there to save the interests of our past colonial masters or our past colonial invaders. But they deliberately disconnect the youth of Africa. The youth of Africa doesn't even know anything about the African Union. All that we know is what is going on in our respective countries, what the opposition and the government is doing in your country. Apart from that, we don't know anything as to what's going on in Addis Ababa, in African Union. But the African Union is the central government of Africa. And as I said, most of us don't know that. We don't know that we have a central government, and the president of that government is the chair, is the commissioner of the African Union, who take decisions, who make decisions for Africa. The formal commissioner, Dr. Zuma, she came out with the idea of linking Africa up with railways connecting all the major cities in Africa. These are the ideas that we were expecting to see Moussa Faki came in to implement. Yet he came in nothing. He's doing nothing. He's not talking anything about it. There was a vision as to silencing the guns in Africa to make sure that there's all these wars and then insecurity that is engulfing our continent. The former chair came out with an idea as to what we should do to silence the guns. It was left for Moussa Faki to come in and then implement it. And as we speak, have we silenced the guns in Africa? No. Why? Because the people who are causing the insecurity in Africa are the same people who put Moussa Faki in office. So you cannot expect to silence the guns when you have somebody, a puppet of those who are causing the disturbances in Africa, in office. And they know, bringing in the competent Dr. Arikana, things will change for the betterment of Africa. So why it is only in our continent that we have people who are representing us, who doesn't have the interests of Africa at heart? Why should we allow that? Why should the youth of Africa allow that to happen? I was expecting by now every blogger will be talking about what is going on in African Union. But we are busy talking about issues that has nothing to that wouldn't have any meaningful impact on us. We are talking about issues that wouldn't have any meaningful impact on us as African people, because the decisions we take today will go a long way to affect the future of Africa. And Moussa Faki is taking every decision that will take Africa back 60 years or 100 years. Yes, that is the decisions he's taking. And the African youth are not angry. We are not angry enough to stand up for Africa. That is the problem. We are not angry. Africa is not underdeveloped. And Africa is not poor. Africa is just being exploited. And those who are exploiting Africa are the same people who put Moussa Faki in office. And today we have somebody who we all know is standing for the interests of Africa in the person of Dr. Arikana, our mother. So why are we not in support of, why are we not angry to see her in office? Because that is what we should be demanding. We should be demanding that we want a fair elections, and then we must make sure that at the end of the day, our mother, Dr. Arikana's name will appear in the ballot of the AU. So that if they're going to vote, Because the reality is that if they're going to vote, she's going to win because she's the only person representing the interests of Africa. Moussa Faki doesn't represent the interests of Africa. So why is it in office? And why are the youth of Africa not angry? I cannot blame our youth. I cannot blame us because the truth is that there is no connection between us, the youth, and those at the top. Because they have been able to create some autocratic leadership at the African Union, which is just like a club, a political club to save their interests, just like our leaders in Africa, in our respective countries are doing. Just as our leaders in our respective countries are doing. But it's about time we start to educate our people as to what African Union really means or what they represent for Africa. Because when we're talking about uniting Africa, having one central government, having one currency, having all this, we cannot be able to do it if we don't have competent leaders in the African Union. The other day, West Africa wanted to introduce their own currency. France hijacked it purposely because you have people like Moussa Faki in the helm of affairs of African Union. If we have had somebody like Dr. Arikana in there, I am telling you by now West Africa would have realized that dream. But because we have people in the African Union who are manipulating what's going on in Africa, and then we don't know. And as I said, I don't really blame the youth, but it is about time we, the youth of Africa, stand for our own interests. Because those we think we put in office, they are not there for the interests of Africa. They are, let me just call them puppets. And then if we don't stand up and fight for the best of Africa, nobody will not do it for us. And the generations to come will blame us, just as some of us are blaming our ancestors for what happened to us. It is our duties today to make sure that leaders that we put to look for the to work for the interests of Africa are leaders who have Africa at heart, not leaders who are just there as puppets for the benefit of other people. The time has come for Africa youth to get angry as to what is going on in Africa. It is about time, especially in the African Union. That disconnection between Africa and Africans, the youth of Africa and African Union, is my main problem. We have to start talking about those issues. West Trinity, it's about time people like you start talking about what's going on in the African Union. Because nobody don't know what's going on in the African Union. The only people who know what's going on are the autocratic leaders who are in office there, who are in Addis Ababa. They are the only people who know what's going on, and then they are representing Africa. As I said, the interests of Africa, they are representing the interests of Africa. And today we have a hashtag called Africa Not For Sale. Purposely because the rot that's going on in African Union today, they are just about to sell Africa. And it will all come from the commission, the African Union Commission. And the commissioner, as I said, it's about time we change the commissioner. He has been there for the past 4 years. And he now wants to go unopposed. We're talking about democracy. We're preaching democracy. And African Union is the like the front liner to tell us about democracy, and yet there is no democracy in the African Union Commission. Because if there was, they would have allowed Dr. Arikana to participate. She submit her forms, and then they don't want to take her. And it's about time we, as I said, put an end to that. We must stand up and fight for our mother. We must stand up and fight for Dr. Arikana. Because we all know she is the only person, as we speak today, speaking for the interests of Africa wherever she go. Anything that happened in China, she will be the first person to talk about it. Anything that happened in Europe, she will be the first person to talk about it. Anything that affects black people in America, she will be the first person to talk about it. Have you ever Have you ever heard the chair, the Commissioner of African Union ever talking anything about Africa? No, nobody don't even know him. Why? Because he is not there to represent the interest of Africa. So as I said, the video is not going to be that long, but I'm just urging all of you, the youth of Africa, to stand up and speak for the interests of Africa, and then to stand up and stand behind our Queen Mother, Dr. Arikana. She wants to be the Commissioner of Africa, African Union, which in a layman's understanding, she wants to be the President of Africa, because the African Union, and my brother, Eze-X, please, people like you should speak as to what is going on in the African Union, because our Queen Mother, Dr. Arikana, they are trying everything that they can to take her out of the race. And the man who is there, Moussa Faki, today, we all know, or those of us who have interest in Africa, know that that man doesn't represent the interests of Africa. That man is just a puppet. And then we cannot allow him to continue be in office whilst we have competent people like Dr. Arika, our Queen Mother, Dr. Arikana. So we have to fight and stand behind our Queen Mother. So I'll end it here, but I'll urge all of you, West Trinity, Brother Eze-X, even Avram Ben Moshe, all of you, please, let us come out. Let us demonstrate that we really have Africa. We are really talking for Africa, not for ourselves. Let us demonstrate and let us come out and stand for our Queen Mother, Dr. Arikana. Because they are coming, they say we should sign petitions. I don't believe in that. I believe that we should come out and demonstrate. Because signing petitions, you sign the petitions and send it to the African Union. You're going to sign it to those there, those leaders there. They'll take it and put it under their carpet. Or they'll bin it. But if we put pressure on our leaders, maybe if the youth of Nigeria put pressure on the leadership of Nigeria, that they want to see Dr. Arikana to be part of the African Union elections. If the youth of Ghana, if the youth of Tanzania, if the youth all over Africa come out and put pressure on the African Union, Moussa Faki will be gone. And then we will have the right and competent people who will fight for Africa, who have Africa at heart, who will fight for the interests of Africa. People like Dr. Arikana, people like Professor Lumumba. These are the people we want to see in the African Union. People who voice out for the interests of Africa. Not somebody who is there. Nobody don't even know who Moussa Faki is. How did he even get there? Who pushed him there? Everybody know. Him coming from Niger. Or where is it origin from? One of the French Francophone countries. Coming from there, and then France have to push him because of their own interest. How can you be a commissioner or a president of Africa representing the interests of other country? It's very unfortunate. But as I said, the youth of Africa are not that angry. And it's about time to get angry and demand what is our right for in Africa. Because this leadership, current leadership we have, that is led by Moussa Faki, is nothing but a group of political club who are there just for themselves and their masters, and not for the interests of Africa. So I would say thank you, everybody. And as I said, Africa is not underdeveloped. Africa is not poor. Africa is just being exploited. And then if we put an end to the exploitation of Africa, Africa will be a paradise. Africa will be a place to be. May the ancestors give us the courage to speak out. May the ancestors give us the wisdom to talk and the courage to come out and say it and demand what is rightful for us. I thank you all, and then have a good night, everybody. Thank you.